Bishop McDonald, Miss Jill Keogh, Chairperson of the Board of Trustees, Sister Andrea Suzuki, Superintendent of Diocesan Schools, Mayor Sarno, administration, parents, teachers, and fellow students. A young man was getting ready to graduate from high school, and for many months he had been admiring a beautiful red sports car in a dealership just down the road from his house. On one particular morning, when the young man came down for breakfast, his father asked him what he wanted for graduation. And knowing that his father could afford it, he told him that he wanted a red sports car just down the road from his house. When his father asked him how much it was, the boy responded, $56,000. His father just laughed at him and continued eating his cereal. When the day of graduation came, the young man went down to breakfast again, and sitting on the table was a small box wrapped in red paper. The young man wore a smile from ear to ear, thinking that the key was with him, and his sports car was waiting outside. He tore open the wrapping paper, imagining himself cruising around in his new car later that afternoon. But when he came to open the box, he found inside a Bible. Furious, the boy ran back up to his room and threw the Bible down on his floor in anger, wondering how his father could be so ungiving, for there was no worse graduation gift than a mere Bible. Later on that day, the boy was sitting in his seat at graduation, still upset from the morning's events. While looking out at the audience, he noticed his father wasn't there. No sooner did his mother find him at the reception, tell him that his father had suffered a massive heart attack and wasn't going to make it. A few days later, as the boy was sitting in his room, mourning the loss of his father, he looked down and noticed that the Bible was still there, untouched. Feeling hopeless and in need of consolation, the boy picked up the Bible and opened it to find a note from his father. It read, "Congratulations, my son. May you go out and make a difference in this world, knowing that the one who has guided you this far will never forsake you. I love you." Behind the paper was a check for $56,000, payable to the young man. Sometimes life's greatest blessings come in packages that take us by surprise. As we leave here today, it is important to remember that God will always, always, always provide for our needs, just as He has over these bountiful 4 years at Cathedral. We will face many challenges in this world, but no one ever promised us life will be easy. No, only fulfilling if truly lived. Life was given to us so that we may go out and accomplish God's work on earth, to bring about a better future. Classmates, we are that future. Each one of us has been given a gift, a talent, a blessing in disguise, a way to effect change and make a difference in this fallen culture. Whether you leave here and are called to be a teacher, a parent, a priest, or a nurse, let your physical need for fulfillment unite with your deepest passion through vocation and give of your soul. For yes, you have heard, it is in giving that we receive. But do not get caught up in the desire for worldly success. For it is said, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. God has given us innumerable treasures here on earth, but so often we seek the treasures of fame and fortune. Is not time one of the most precious gifts of all? Time is something that can never be given back to us, something that we can never return for something else. Make use of your time wisely, and invest it not in stocks, but in people, especially your loved ones. Whether it be becoming a better husband, mother, friend, or mentor, continue to improve your relationships and learn from both your failures and successes. It is said that those who love learning love the discipline that comes with it. Not only can this apply to your schoolwork, your job, or any impersonal task you choose to take on in life, but to an even greater extent, it holds value in personal relationships. Personal relationships are difficult, period. You can't just read a book on how to deal with the problem at hand, because a person isn't an object. Fear not the thought of failure, but continually give of your love. By dealing with a personal relationship, we are entering into the realm of abstract learning. There's an ebb and flow to improving personal relationships that can only come from being committed to learning how that person ticks, what makes her happy, and what irks her. Think back to freshman year when we all entered a new environment with an entirely new group of people. Think about how difficult it was getting along with so many new people. Nevertheless, 4 years later, we've grown so incredibly close because we've committed to learning more about them over the last 4 years. Take this with you as you enter the next chapter of your life. Stay committed. The discipline that comes with staying committed to learning and growing in your personal relationships will suit you in every personal and impersonal undertaking thereafter. Finally, suffering is a part of life. It is inevitable that each one of us will go through periods of our lives when hope is so foreign, it seems as though nothing can satisfy the piercing emotional turmoil within us. Chances are, we've already experienced a time much like this, maybe even within the last week and a half. It's not God's will that we suffer, but rather, God can take suffering and use it to mold us into the people He wants us to become. Isaiah says, "When you pass through deep waters, I will be with you. Your troubles will not overwhelm you. When you pass through fire, you will not be burned. The hard trials that come will not hurt you." Ask God to help you see your suffering from His perspective. Keep your eyes on God. The Lord is our shepherd, who restores our hearts and lays us down in green pastures to be forever united with Him. My classmates, I know it is difficult we are leaving. Not only difficult to leave each other, but to leave our families. Those we've learned to love and rely on these last 18 years. I know it is difficult to leave your brothers and sisters, the best friends of your youth, with whom you have cried, laughed, and loved. I know it is difficult to leave your sports teams, and your coaches, your family away from family. I know it is difficult to leave behind your house full of your best friends on Saturday night, staying up late when seemingly endless laughter turns to deep talks about life and the future. But my brothers and sisters, do not be afraid of leaving behind this in the past, but rejoice in the fact that you will always be able to recall these beautiful memories whenever you please. Trust in God. Trust in Him with all of your heart and soul, knowing that in the deepest struggles of your life, He will never forsake you. Jeremiah says, "I know what I'm doing. I have it all planned out. Plans to take care of you, not abandon you. Plans to give you the future you hope for." And with that, my fellow classmates, let us go out into this world and prosper. For as members of Cathedral High School, we will be the difference.
It is now my distinct pleasure to